Make a move, make it matter.
Yeah.
Forget the rest.
Are y'all feeling that?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.
Yes, this is the Fourth Letter Radio. This is Rhythme des Trois. We're here in Detroit with the SDM Live Network. Welcome, welcome. We love you all checking in with us every single Saturday at 5 p.m. This is the Fourth Letter Radio. A, B, C, D is for Detroit. That's right. Y'all knew that, right? You knew that. Thank you for coming on my show today. I've got the lovely Dee Dee DeRule. Am I pronouncing it correctly?
Yes.
Let me hear you say it.
Dee Dee DeRule.
DeRule. Am I wrong? DeRule. I love it. And her husband, Taji Ali. Thank you for coming on the show. I see this vision of you all just going places with your own show and continuing to represent, this new generation of loving each other, trusting each other, putting everything on the table. Is that the right path? Is that where we're going?
Yeah.
All right with that.
Thank you for being here. We have the lovely Aisha. Thank you for coming in. Pull your microphone up towards you. Pull it. Pull. There we go. Aisha, what's up, girl?
Hey, I'm thankful and grateful. How are you?
I'm good. You look beautiful as always. I don't think that everyone knows this, but you are the best drummer in the city of Detroit, in the Midwest.
Oh, my goodness. That's a huge compliment.
It's a huge compliment, but people don't know. They don't know talent, do they? They don't know how we're sitting on these nest eggs. They're blossoming, right?
Oh,
It's
yeah.
been a minute.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. We're going to talk about that.
Okay, very good.
We're going to talk about that. Our topics today are social inheritance and how we are mapping out the future. Now, of course, yes, bring that on up to the table. She has her vision board. We're going to get that prepped up. But how well are we preparing for the future now? What we do know is that people that have money, people who have inheritance, people who have been prepping themselves are able to live for the future. They're able to invest in 50 years from now. When many of us are paycheck to paycheck, right?
Day to day.
We are day to day, thank you. And we have to think about right now. But like I had told my sister, I thought it was amazing, her story. She's going to share her testimony with us today. I'm going to let her tell it, but we've been friends for many, many years. And when you're friends with someone, either if it's a male or a female, you get an opportunity to see their highs and lows. And I've always said a friend is someone who knows all about you and is still your friend. How y'all feel about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Is that a good analogy? I believe that because I'm sure she was over there like shaking her head like, nah, she didn't. With your real friends. But I love being able to pick up at any time and any place with people who are really for you. Yeah. And it is as if you never went anywhere. Mm-hmm. I love it. And you are one of those people. So I thank you for that.
Oh, thank you. You're welcome.
Yes. It can be a minute. I'm like, wait a minute. It was last year that we saw each other, right? But we just picked up where. Yeah, we just pick up.
Yeah. Because people got too much stuff to do. Life is happening all around you forever. Your family's life is happening to you. You have to be present in all of these aspects. You almost need a clone.
You do need a clone. I wish we had a clone. I wish that people were as compassionate and understanding and not judgmental as I am. Because I want to.
Just put it out there.
Right.
No, I really want to. I want people to feel comfortable coming to the table, coming to me as they are. Because that's the only way that I can come to people. And so when you hear me advocating for things, sometimes it isn't me that I'm advocating for. However, I will advocate for you if I think it's going to come back around.
Right.
And I'm going to need that representation.
Myself, yeah.
I know I've got some allergies going on. This is not COVID. What this is I don't know. We got allergies, hopefully. We are all going to bypass COVID this year. But you know what? I want to talk about COVID a little bit and the vaccine. I want to do a roundtable and ask my guests how they feel about the vaccination. Many of us do have high places in our neighborhoods and our societies, and we must be politically correct in everything we do. However, I do want to, mix the pot up a little bit, stir the pot up, because my theory with Thumps, Thoughts, and Theories here on the show, this is the Fourth Letter Show, if y'all didn't know, but my theory is that if you have antibodies, if you feel as though you have had COVID and you have the antibodies, when I was talking to a medicine professional, he said, oh, now if you have the antibodies, you may not need the vaccination. Have you heard that?
I have heard that, yeah.
Have you also heard that it lasts 3 months?
I did hear that it lasts 6 months, but to me, that's still like.
That's it.
Exactly.
It
that's
lasts
it.
6 months.
Then you got to re-up or something?
They haven't told us because they don't quite know.
I mean,
at
I
this
feel
point.
like at this
wow.
point, that vaccination mixed with that Popeye's chicken sandwich, that people, 6 months from now, it might be that zombie apocalypse back out.
I'm not sure, but I like to put everything on the table. I want everyone to have the information that they need so that they can make the right decisions. I believe that at some point I will get vaccinated if it keeps me from leaving the country or being able to fly or being able to shop or things that are important. I mean,
The necessities.
yeah, the necessities. If
So-
that happens, okay, so is anyone here vaccinated?
No.
Yes? No. No?
No.
It's too many new things that I'm learning about it. Like, I didn't know that it only lasts for 6 months.
New information.
Yeah, new information comes out daily. And I'm like, oh, so what's the purpose right now?
Right. Now, has anyone felt as though they have had COVID in the last year and a half?
Yeah.
Possibly? Okay.
I mean, how you gonna escape it?
Right. Interesting. How are you going to escape it? Now, if you have had COVID, go back to your health professional and ask them that question, because that's that first question. If I have the antibodies, can you give me an antibody test? And if I do have the antibodies, do I need the vaccination? That's all I'm going to say about that.
Okay.
Just double check on that one while she drinks her tea. Wait, let's take a sip. That's how we do. We have tea. That's that green tea from Italy. We have there. So let's open up, because over the last week or so, our timeline has been crazy with these male chauvinistic icons that they have become over a period of time in the media, in the social media. One of them happens to be Derek Jackson. And we have our lovely guest here who has taken some time to do some research. So I want to put it on the table and talk a little bit about, you share with me the approach. Where are we going to start? Because this is just the dynamic. There's so much that we can talk about, from him even having the mission, or if he feels in his mind that this is his purpose to be out here slanging this slang that he does. Where is he getting that confidence from is what I want to know. That's where I would start. However, let's put it on the table. Share with me some bullet points, some things that have really stood out to you about this gentleman. Go ahead.
A couple of things that stood out was that he was so adamant in not not feeling any sorrow for the people who were outed before him. So like, if you cheated before, you deserve to be out of the house. There's no sympathy for you, and she should dump you and leave you and move on.
And is this how he used to talk?
This is what he's been talking about, and this is
Oh,
how he's been.
wow.
And it was like, well, you should leave him, or just leave.
Right.
Right. But now the other bullet point is he just did the same thing, and he wants people to feel sorry for him.
No.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's like, how can you say all of those things and say, I have no sympathy for you. You deserve what you get. She should kick you out and she should leave. And then the other bullet, you have your wife on this video sitting next to you.
And you
like she's
grab
being
her out
held
the bed.
hostage.
Look, you grab her out the bed with her body in the one. Come on, girl, come here. We about to do this video real quick.
Sit right here. Hold my hand. Act like you love me, right?
Stay still.
So
my.
that's what I saw. And those were my bullet points.
Wow.
Yeah.
What are your bullet points on that?
I mean, so a lot of what the reason why he gets so much flack now is because he kind of built his whole motto and his whole empire on like telling women basically what they want to hear, like just telling them nice stuff, and if a man does this, then you should just leave him and da 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 da. But the realism in terms of actually giving value, a lot of other people in the males in the sphere just have some criticisms of him. But now it's coming, like if you use his same logic on his own situation, it just falls apart.
Was he ever team guy? Like, was he always team lonely black lady? Was he? Did he ever stand up for his fellow man? Because I
not
don't
from the
think
videos
he
that
was
I've
one.
ever seen. Yeah, not from the videos that I've ever seen. It's always about the women and the woman is right, or you kick the guy to the curb. That's what I've seen.
And that's what you remember about him.
Yeah.
So obviously that was his thing.
So it's very inconsistent, right? Because you can go through and watch some videos that's like, oh yeah, if a man tries to tell you like what to wear or whatever like that, you should just leave him. That's just control. And then he has another video on the same topic, like, yeah, girl, if a man really love you, he just not gonna let you be all like. So it's like whatever
He was just
it
confused.
feels like today.
Is he a Gemini? He was just so confused. That's amazing. Now, do you know anything about this gentleman?
I have a little prior knowledge.
Okay.
That he's this, relationship guru, but I think he gets away with it because he's the type of man that has been fetishized.
Yes.
I'm saying that right. So, it's a lot of weird dynamics that happen with individuals that have certain leeways and they feel like they can take certain liberties and and doormat a lot of women. Like a lot of relationships have like a narcissistic spin on it, and I attribute that just upbringing.
Yeah.
A lot of like media plays a lot into that. Like people don't realize how our brains develop. Like a lot of people don't bring into the fact that people are being shaped and molded. If we are clay or made out of clay, we shape this clay.
Yeah.
And different things that we're exposed to shape the clay.
Yeah.
So we leave out all of those very important details about, okay, well, how could somebody think that was okay?
Yeah.
And all of us, to me, are touched ever so slightly in certain ways,
Are y'all ready for the plantation talk? When it comes
Plantation
to
talk.
this gentleman, I want to take up for him. I think that, like what you said, he played on the weaknesses and the vulnerability of a lot of the single black women in our society. But the facts are, as a social scientist, let me just throw that in there, that 85% of black homes are run by black women, which make them equal to white men in the sphere of socioeconomic status. Now, what that means is scientifically, black women are equal to white men, and black men are equal to white women. And so if you take it back to the plantation, if y'all ready, he has brought on and taken on the slave position, the slave language and the culture of the white woman. Because
Like
the
reverse
white
bed
woman
wench, if you
is,
will?
yes, this language that they come up with, like bed wench, side chick, mistress, it has the intensity of passion that would come from a bitter woman, not a man enjoying, his relationships. So it isn't language that a man would have. He just would not speak of a woman in that manner unless he was taught to do that. And there's not a reason for it unless there's another woman present. You'd have to have a woman present in your presence to say, oh, that's a side, because you're not going to do that with your man, with your friends. Why? Because you want your friends to know, don't touch her. That's mine. Mm-hmm. So when you're with your friends, that's my wife. Don't look at her, don't touch her, don't talk to her, right?
Take your eyes off of her.
Keep your eyes off of her. But when you're in the presence of other women, then you go and you have that bitter language, because you have to think about that white woman on the plantation and how bad it was for her to have her husband bring African women into the home, give them their own room, have children with them, give them freedom and land and property, and now they don't have to sell their children, and now they have land and they can make decisions, and they can look like this and say that, like I have people in my family that can pass for white people with a smile without a problem. And they can. But, there are going to be some defining things there that'll let you know, okay, wait a minute.
I think some of that actually goes into like some of the programming or the learning that we've kind of taken on being here in America. Mm-hmm. Like a lot of it doesn't necessarily serve us, in terms of like how we structure our families or how we relate to each other. 'Cause it's all in language. Like, there's words that, that we only have a few words for love in this society, but right. Over in Africa you have like dozens of words and different types of love, and so we're sometimes limited by that. But I think the way that we really look at relationships and like, what are they based in? Are they based in our culture or are they based in something else?
That's it. That's it right there, because that structure does not serve the black woman who is 40 with 5 kids, and we have the highest incarceration in the world. Mm. It doesn't serve us to adopt what works for you, the white woman, what works for you, when you don't have a 30-to-1 ratio and you don't have your men in prison. And the time that they spend, the degree of damage that's done when they're in jail and prison, add that on. Because they'll be back home with you, but just like as a teacher for many years, and I'd have to teach other people's children, and I meet their mothers, and I say, oh, okay, that's why you're off the chain. Okay. Thank you. Now I know. I know exactly why this is happening. But at the same time, that child loves their mom if she was in a box with a rag on. Yeah. That's all they want, is that mom or that dad. And so we're beating each other up in these relationships, and we're forgetting that we have children out there that think that we're superheroes, and we are sliced bread. We are their bread and butter. We are the food that they eat. We're everything. And so we're, pounding at each other over these relationships and forcing people into monogamy, which none of us are monogamous, which means you're with the same person your whole life. What we have is serial monogamy, which is divorce, get married, divorce, get married, divorce, get married, walk away, get divorced, say that you're divorced, say that you're broken up, get back together, go mess with such and such, have a baby over here. You know, that's perfectly acceptable.
But it boils down to the same thing.
It's the same thing.
Right. Because, like, if he had a kid with Susie down the street and then 2 years later had a kid with Samantha over on the other street, it's like, okay, you still want the kids to know each other. You still want to have them to grow up together or some semblance of that. Yeah. And if you don't, that's, to me, is crazy.
Right.
So it ends up being the same thing.
It ends up being the same thing.
The only thing that's missing, though, is just the harmony and being able to work together and actually utilize or pool resources.
It is, because at the end of the day, let me tell you, I honestly don't think that men or women would choose to have complex relationships. At some point, you can have 3 children with a man and realize there's something seriously wrong. However, like what I was telling before on the last show, my children didn't know that we were separated or divorced because we just kept it going for the sake of them. And I would even tease my husband. I'm like, come on, for the sake of the kids.
Come on in here.
Come on, you got stuff to do. But I just was kind of stuck in that situation because what I realized was that it started clicking for me that in these other societies, the woman will forego her ego and her priority over herself, maybe her freedom or her ability to do things or her ability to move or whatever it is that is causing her not to want to be in that marriage. And they'll forego that in order for the children to be a priority. Mm-hmm. And then when you get over to this country, you know what they say. F them kids.
I got dreams and goals that can stay at home. I don't know. Somebody else can watch them, right? Like, well, I got dreams and goals, things that I want to pursue, and the kids aren't all that important. Yeah. But,
and it's not, it's that, but it's also, I got this fool at home, and I can divorce him, and I can go find me another fool that's going to do something else that he's not doing. But the point is that whole divorce, go find another one, divorce, go find another one, divorce, that's what they do here. Mm-hmm. In other countries, they feel it's barbaric because you are literally, you're cutting off your family and you're saying, you know, I don't want to be a part of this family anymore. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go be a part of this family. Mm-hmm. And now I'm going to go raise these kids. And that's literally what happens.
And act like I don't know these kids.
And act like I don't know my own kids because this situation is better. And have the children get cut off. And it's unfortunate.
Very unfortunate.
And that's what happens. So that's where we step in and we say, you are trying to get a win-win situation out of a bad situation. Guess what? There is none. Can you accept that? There is no win-win where you're just going to be totally on top. No one's going to get hurt in this war that we just started when we separate. We have started a doggone war. And you go blow for blow. And it's like it's either you or the kids. Which is it going to be? And sometimes it's the man, too.
Yeah, and sometimes they use the kids as a pawn,
yes.
Right? So they talk bad about each other to the children.
Right.
And that disrupts the image that they have of their parents. So that's not benefiting anybody, to be honest.
And you know what happens too? You have any children yet? No. Okay. So what ends up happening is I married a man that did not have any children. I already had 3. I did not have a conversation with an older woman to explain the dynamics behind that. Because we are bringing so much to the table, we're not discussing the kids that you already had. How does that fit in? And, you know, it would be nice if we didn't have baggage coming to the table. However, we're in the state of war. For 400 years, this goes on and on because the statistics are war statistics.
Mm-hmm.
The incarceration rate is a war incarceration rate. The police brutality is a war statistic. So these things, it's like being in Beirut and you've got these bombs hitting your shack, but you're still having tea, you know, going about your business. But they're just hitting your, you know, your village.
And that's actually why, you know, certain non-monogamous systems were set up. For example, Islam, right? It was actually set up to allow for men to take on multiple wives to make sure that, you know, those casualties of war, like the men that would be die or killed or wouldn't be present for the women, that you could kind of stitch together the family structure still, right? And those kids that didn't have a dad would be able to utilize someone else's, you know, father and have that masculine energy around the home, such that the actual community and the culture would still propagate and not, you know,
That's
have
so
that
true.
discord. Yeah, yeah.
I mean, in the Hadith, it specifically says to marry the widows with orphans. And in Islam, an orphan is not a child who doesn't have a mother, but a child who doesn't have a father. So you can be an orphan and have a mother. So what they're looking at is a culture where you have the women relying on the men. You go into a village, you slaughter the men, and then they say, okay, pick up a wife. Because now we don't have SSI, we don't have food stamps, we don't have any of that. So we don't have a bread line or anything. You need to pick up these women because this is going to be a detriment to our village as a whole.
Later.
To have these single women. And that was the purpose for that.
And
That was it.
And it would have alleviated a lot of mental anguish, you know.
It's mental anguish because you have to choose. So now you're saying when you come over into this culture, this underdeveloped culture, they're saying always immediately, oh, I'll be single by myself. And they don't know that piece, that like tag, it's like a thread on your sweater and you pull it and you don't clip it,
Everything unravels.
it's gonna unravel the whole sweater. And that's what that single mom does. And so the whole society, like I tell people all the time, you would think that a man would run around and say, I want a wife, I want a wife, I want another one. No, those aren't the ones that do that. It's the family of the woman that you are pursuing that says, hold up. Like when you're over in Senegal, they're like, hold up, I saw you looking at
Why your
and
eyes
the
over
father.
here?
Like, do that again.
Why your eyes over here?
Where you looking at? I see you looking at the boutique. Right. But they're like, we're not doing that here. We don't have that. We don't have food stamps and WIC. No. Thank you. So you're going to take her home, and we don't care who else is there. But we can't stop you from doing what you're doing. But we're not going to have a bunch of single mothers over here in West Africa. We're not doing that. And so it is now, keep in mind this. In our society, we have so many broken women that are coming to the table, and then they're marrying men who don't have the same baggage. They might not have children. They may not have the same experiences that you have. They're fresh coming up right off their mama couch. They out their mama basement, fresh out the basement, ready to go toe to toe with you in your house with your truck. Okay. Hold on, is that a personal testimony? Let me be quiet. I feel like Wendy Williams. Okay, let me stop.
But it all goes together too, though, right? Because what people don't often recognize is that it's like a relay race type of thing, right? So it's not just how we're doing right now. Like I think a lot of a lot of sisters don't necessarily recognize that the way that they think about men now and the way that their viewpoint of men is shaping the way that her son sees himself. And so when he doesn't have a male figure around, or she's detesting male energy and she's like, oh, well, I don't need him, then it's like he grows up with like, wow, am I relevant? Am I even relevant?
And they don't feel relevant. I could tell you that right now.
Yeah.
So many of these men, I mean, in West Africa, they separate the men from the women. And you don't get that energy until it's time to go home to your whoever you're supposed to be home with.
Mm-hmm.
The women are bonding with the women and the men are bonding with the men. And when you do the comparison, they call it ethnography. When you do the comparison and you look at Detroit and look at Senegal, and you're saying, okay, even the women have bonded here. It's like two birds with one stone. The women have bonded over here in Detroit. The women aren't getting along, right? The men have bonded. The men aren't getting along. And then there's intimacy between the women. There's intimacy between the men. And then now you're craving the intimacy from the opposite sex because you haven't had it. As opposed to, baby, hold my purse. We about to go to the mall, you know. And now you have the men and the women constantly together, which one thing my ex-husband told me one time about the young boys seeing with the daughters that I had, seeing their bodies. He said that if he keeps seeing their bodies, he's not going to have a desire for the woman's body. If he continues like sleeping with the woman and she doesn't have a lot of clothes on, showering with the older sister, or being in the shower in the bathroom, that needs to be a mystery.
He gets desensitized to it almost, and it's like,
That
yeah.
He'll become desensitized. So what ends up happening to increase the intimacy between the women and the men, is the women are together all the time, and so that you see all of it. You know, you see the breast and the butt, and you become desensitized to that. However, the smells and the figures of the man and their body types and things like that, you're not familiar with. So, and that's the same with the men. If you, and guys will tell you, they have to hang out with men all day long. They're like, where is the women at?
Okay, I've bonded enough.
I've had enough.
All right, that's enough now.
It's enough testosterone.
All right now.
And that's where you get those boys who are mama's boys. They say mama's boys, or they have, you know, and, you know, Sigmund Freud will talk about this isn't to create controversy, and I don't want the LGBTQ ABCDFG with those people, these lovely people, to be offended. However, Sigmund Freud believed that a lot of the homosexuality with men came from an oversaturation with the mother. Spending too much time with the mother and beginning to fall in love with the mother, or to have some feelings for the mother because too much time with the mother. And that's why you'll have mama's boys. And this is a white male perspective. But then I heard it from the African as well. But they put it differently. And so we're all talking about just body contact, really. Because at the end of the day, sex is just, you know, bodies, friction, and people touching each other. So, but it's really interesting how people outside of this country look at how we do things, because they don't feel as though we are civilized in the manner of which we handle divorce, we handle older women, we handle younger women. And a lot of it is all about, when you say cheating, the cheating is not in the act, because you have a right to maintain relationships with people that you care for. However, the cheating is the lies. And there's a difference. There's no apology for saying, you know, I'm with my wife. We thought we were done. I was with you. Now I'm going back to my wife. You know, there are explanations because people really would not choose to have these complex relationships.
Right.
It is because it falls into your lap. And then in the hadith, it explains to you how to handle the complex relationship. Because no one is going to seek this complexity. Nobody wants it. They would love to have that same person their whole life. And when it doesn't happen, that's how that works.
Yeah. And on another aspect of that, it's like as far as relationships go, a lot of people are like, well, I want a husband. I want a husband. I want a husband. Like when you get a husband, what do you do with him? Right. So it's like they're so focused on getting a husband, but not what it takes to keep, what it takes to have a happy home or a relationship. It's just, well, I got him. Now what?
That's good. That sounds like a show. I'm pushing them to do their show right now. Those are some good points. I often say that women will tend to love the relationship and not the man. And they want to be married, but not to the man. They want a wedding. They don't care if the man is there. They can have a whole big old wedding and he won't even be there. They be like, okay. Because it's all about them.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's that ego building up. But again, it is white culture, you know, to exalt. Because you have to remember back on the plantation, you got all this guilt with the white woman. You have to have that white number one supreme queen of England. She just did it to Meghan Markle. She just did this to Meghan Markle. She did it to Diana as well. That same off with her head, I'm the only queen. Diana was killed, okay? And they just did not want anyone other than the queen to get any type of attention. And that whole queen bee and there's only one queen and all this kind of stuff, it's just not logical. Because you've got women who, in their universe, it's like, that's your movie and this is my movie. And I didn't even write you in the script. Like, I don't see you on none of these pages. How am I on the side, you know? And I got a doctorate degree. I don't understand that because I know I've been working hard, you know? So where they're trying to put you for the sake of a woman and for the sake of easing the pain that she feels not knowing that she's the only one. Where I get lost is where you stopped, what you just said. I get lost when a woman then decides that her relationship is based on if he loves another woman. Not if he loves me, but that's all it's based on. Did you call anybody today? Did they text you? Did you look at anybody? Did you look at a booty? Did anybody cook you any lunch?
Who wants to be interrogated like that?
No, but that's
home, right?
what's going. No, because they believe that's the basis of their relationship. Not if he loves her, or if y'all get along, or if you have a good time together. Did you enjoy your time with him today? Did he enjoy eating the food that you cooked on his palate? No, because you were going through his phone, darling, so you didn't have an opportunity to find out if he liked your collard greens. You know, that's the problem is there is no love being built there, and there isn't any compassion for any other woman in his life. Because my new book that's coming out, plug, called The Four Wives, it also talks about just four corners around that man, and it's not always a wife, it's just a woman. Because for me and my ex-husband, the problem wasn't even another woman. It was actually the mother and the sister in his life. And how close they were to him because the father had passed. He looked just like the father. He inherits everything in their custom. And so he's got this big old house and he's got all that. But then when he gets over here, I'm like, dishwash, you know. It's like you come over here. Where is all the gold and stuff coming to America? And so I'm like, let me go to Africa so I can feel like a queen again, because I feel like a handmaiden right now.
Under his eye.
Okay, I need all of that we had going on over there. We need it over here. But that's really hard to do. But no, that is one of the issues that I have is I am at a place, and it could be my age, which is 39 and a half, over and over and over again. Forever it's 39.
Designated age.
You know I'm not.
I was looking at my eyeballs like,
Did you start twitching? Your eye started twitching. And I was like, let me stop lying, because her eye twitching.
carry the one.
She said, carry the two. Carry the two, ma'am. I know you. I know you.
If you 39, that makes me way older than you.
But you are older than me, though. Are you? Okay, never mind. Let's not
I don't
talk
think
about
so,
that.
ma'am. No, I'm the age I'm supposed to be. I'm not about that. I'm born 1974. That's how old I am. That's how old I'm supposed to be. We have to stop fetishizing youth
Yes, you're
and
right.
respect where you are.
Yeah,
I'm
because
the
they
age I'm
can't
supposed
cook.
to be. Listen, ma'am, I'm gonna need you to cook that a little bit, like 4 more minutes. And then
Before you kill us all.
hold on. Baby, pickle the sea salt, the peppercorn.
Okay,
You're gonna grind
right.
that, okay? And then you're gonna spread it out. So yeah, I love the age I am. I promise. I love the fabulous 40s. On my way to the fantastic 50s. I wouldn't change it. I'm
No.
the age I'm supposed to be.
Absolutely.
And I respect it.
Respect.
Got 50s over there.
I respect.
I love it.
This is my favorite decade.
Let's
When
talk.
I turned the word no came so fast and so surprising because I'm so used to saying yes to a lot of things that not necessarily in your best interest. You know, sometimes you gotta be like, listen, you gonna have to carry that load, baby.
Now tell us about that, because I brought you onto the show today because I've known you for a long time, and we've seen each other's ups and downs.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to tell your story,
I recall.
but tell us about a period of time when you, and then you turned it around, and I was like, "Oh, girl, hold on, slow down."
Well,
Slow,
you know, I'm born the year of the tiger, so that's
Okay.
a beautiful thing anyway. So yeah, I had bouts with being homeless
Yeah.
and displaced, and I saw how it was taking a turn on my mental. You know, we be taking a lot of mental weight,
Yes.
being a single mom and having to hold down the household, and you know, you do want a family structure, but a lot of times you end up meeting people who they're not ready to be a part of that. You know, some of the guys, they want to come in running stuff, but you don't have no foundation. You know, you can't come to my table trying to boss me around. I've been holding myself down, and then here you come want to run me. That's not how that's gonna go.
And then that other Aisha come out. I done heard her a couple times.
And she needs to be, and that's Cryisha.
Yeah.
Okay, I had to learn to identify the different aspects of myself. You know, so yeah, dealing with being homeless and working to establish a household and a home for stability for myself and my children.
Yeah.
And I have one child that roll with the punches, and I have another child that really needs structure and order. You know what I'm saying? So it was like having to understand what my children needed and live in different places, like here 6 weeks, here 4 months, here 2 weeks, here
Right.
3 months. You
Yeah.
know,
Gypsy. The
gypsy
Detroit
woman,
Gypsy.
and still trying to hold on to my sanity, still trying to do my gigs because I'm a musician. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
The
saying?
baddest drummer in Detroit.
Thank you.
Baddest.
Baddest. The baddest.
Thank
drummer.
You so much. I humbly receive that.
Okay.
I don't necessarily consider myself that, but I appreciate those. That
Yes.
do. And so just so I created a vision board at one
Turn
point
it
in time.
around. We want to see it. Yeah. Turn it around.
And my brother, the rule is here. He's on the vision board because he's in the self-empowerment through solar energy, electricity, sustainability
Another
portion
genius
of
in
the
our
vision
bunch.
board. Yes, Team Virgo as well. So.
Okay.
Very true.
Genius.
And so, in my
Another
endeavors
genius.
of looking for a home, I created this vision board to help keep me focused.
That's
You know,
great.
because you know your mind will. I'm like, let me focus on securing the location.
And it worked for you.
And it worked for me. And I'm thankful and grateful. Anybody ask me how I'm doing, y'all know what I'm going to say. I'm thankful and grateful. And
But I
I'm
just
happy.
remember that change, and you jumped right. Like, let me just say, she has a life coach program that she just jumped right in. So how can they find you to learn more about social inheritance and your
Yes.
life coaching and how to prepare your children for the future? You got an awesome program.
Thank you. And it's so
So-
funny because it's a program that's not a program. I just do it.
Right.
You know, and the first part is you just got to make those connections in yourself. You know, I said, once I came out of the hole I was in, I said, I'm never going to go down that far. It's only up from here. And everybody at some point may need to hit their rock bottom.
Okay.
And everybody's rock bottom is different from everybody else's.
Right.
I know what my rock bottom was. And then I had to understand. I started saying, well, I don't have all the answers. I got a lot of stuff going on in my head. But I know I want to experience the opposite of what's happening here. And so it was like, well, what does that look like? I started asking questions, you know, asking the universe, asking the creator of the universe, you know, Ya Allah. Listen,
We need to talk.
I said, listen,
Let me talk to you for a minute. Let me talk to you.
bring me your ear hole. Because I was like, listen, if you want me to survive and do better, God, I'm gonna need some intervention, and I need it now because I almost smoked a crack rock. No.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
okay.
I'm
I
just
remember
saying,
it was
yeah.
kind of tough.
Yeah, I've been so I was in the shelter at one point in time as well.
Yeah.
And
With your children.
with my
Yeah.
with my baby
Yeah.
at the time. And so what I saw is that they're not going to help you if you don't have like a child protective services case against you. They're not going to help you if you don't have if you're not on the crazy, you know, if you ain't in the crazy lane.
Yeah.
Or if you're not on the crackhead lane.
Yeah.
If you kind of in that limbo, kind of not all the way down, but right
Yeah.
around here, they overlook you.
Ready to break completely.
And they like, yeah. And they like, when I tell them I'm having some anxiety, they like go to mental health, which is right next door. And I'm like, I'm not about to take these drugs.
Okay.
Because if I take these drugs, what is this going to do to my baby? I'm breastfeeding. You know what I'm saying? All of this stuff. I'm like, I'm not doing it. So I just saw how they will push you to that tipping point. You ain't broke enough. Oh, you're not broke, Jezebel. Or you ain't broke, Sapphire. I need you broke before I help you. You want what I got, you got to break all the way down. You can't be bent over and be like, listen, all I need is last month's rent. I got it from there.
Right.
I don't need all of that. Just, you know. They like, no, you ain't smoked enough rocks, boo. Yeah. They want you broken a lot of the time before they'll really help you.
I am so happy that you took the path because I was gone and come back and gone and come back. But back in the day, I didn't know how talented. I know that you're this fabulous dancer because you're one of my dance teachers.
18 jobs, child.
Right. She's just like, roll your eyes, everybody. Like, she just
What else
has,
you do?
Right. What else do you do?
You know, artists are, we a little bit, you know, the world is different for us. You know, like I was going to be that very bohemian or just gypsy mom kind of who I did not want my kids in the school systems and stuff.
Right.
Because I'm like, they don't teach education. They teach indoctrination.
Yes.
And that was one of the reasons why I took my daughter out of school. I was doing homework with her one day like, what? So we just supposed to, I was like, we out of here.
Yes.
I was like, hey, don't call us no more.
Now then you decided to tap into these hidden treasures within you. Came up with this potion
Tap on in.
that I've used after dance class. It's beautiful. Tell us about it.
Okay, well, this is one of my potions. It's called Detroit Slick, and it's a joint muscle and skin relief. So how I stumbled upon this, and I'm going to tell you, God gave me the recipe.
Okay.
Because I had kicked a wall, like, back in 2017.
Kicking that cat. That'd be over at your house.
I was actually mad. No, I was
Got a
mad.
cat over there. Trying to keep that cat.
I was having some.
Get out of
I
here,
was having some
Sylvester.
strong
Go.
emotions. I was having some strong emotions.
Okay. Oh.
And I was like, well, you can't kick people down the stairs. So I ended up kicking the wall. And
You missed
so,
them when you went to go kick.
No, I wasn't. I was just like, you can't kick them down the stairs. So I ended up kicking the wall because I was angry, misplaced anger. What I should have did was twisted something up and got on the drums. That's what I should
Right.
have done.
Okay.
So time goes by, and then my foot is like really starting to hurt, and I'm like,
I heard myself.
this is hurting. And my toes is like, listen, you wasn't even mad at us. Why are we hurt? Why are we hurt?
What did we do?
And then I got a call. I got a call to do a 2-week tour.
Oh no! And you need that
What
foot so
they
you
do
can hit
is-
that bass drum. Like she be like, boom, boom.
I got a call like either that night or the next day to do a tour with Les Nubians. And then I called your mother like, Mama, I was crying. I called his mama like, listen, I got a situation. She was like, sweetheart, you're going to have to suck it up.
Yeah. That's how she was
She told me,
saying
she
too.
said, sweetheart, you're going to have to suck it up, honey.
Get
You'll
on
be
that
fine.
drum.
You'll be fine. Just take care of yourself and go handle your business. I was like, yes, ma'am.
But you know what is amazing? It works. When you put it on a joint or something that's not feeling well, it does work. So I know you can't tell us the ingredients.
Oh yeah, I can tell you.
Okay.
I'm not gonna,
Okay.
It's castor oil. It's arnica oil. There is CBD in here. There's cedar wood, frankincense, and lavender. Yeah.
Love
I'll
it.
tell you the ingredients.
Yes, and it smells good too.
Thank you. Listen,
Thank you.
on your knuckle meat,
Yes.
on your knees, and I have a little situation sometimes with my heels. I go walking these days, and running sometimes, and so they'll burn after. And so I pour it on there, and I always hit that foot that I kicked the wall.
Yes.
You know, I always hit those joints too. And so yeah, I make it as much as possible.
Now, how can we find you? So we
You can
pick
find
this
me.
up.
I'm on Instagram at 313 Slick
Yes.
Me.
Oh wait, hold on. 313 Slick Me. Whoa, baby.
So
313 Slick Me.
yes, I am also looking for some young or old or in between individuals who are really love doing social media stuff to help with my
313 Slick Me.
yeah 313 Slick.
313 Slick Me. Love it.
Yep. And
Okay, well, good.
this
Thank
serves
you.
you're welcome. I thought I was going to be a doctor when I was younger, but I
And
didn't.
you are.
Well,
You're the healing
to a certain
doctor.
Yes.
I thought I was going to be a pediatric brain.
Uh-oh.
I know.
You're
Real
helping
random.
us.
No, I like that bottle too.
Right.
Thank you. This is copper dip bottles, and this is the $20 size, and this is the 1 ounce $10 size, and this is 2 ounces.
Now, how they can find you also for your life coaching and life inheritance program.
Call me
313 Slick Me.
848
848
6685.
6685. That's 313 848 6685.
Yep, and I'm
Right.
on social media. I'm Aisha Ellis on Facebook.
AISHA.
ELLIS
Love it.
on Facebook. I'm on Twitter. Kinda.
Okay. And you're on the drums.
And I'm on Aisha on Drums
Aisha
at
on
gmail.com. That's
Yes.
AISHAONDRUMS at gmail.com.
We're going to talk a little bit about the coming to America. I mean, I don't think they should come. Nah, I don't want them here. Not with that trash
Who
that
would
they
they
had
become?
going on.
Who would be coming though?
I don't know who was coming. I don't know who those people were. I have no idea. Coming to America, we're going to talk about that. I want to put a plug in. May the 15th, we will be launching the Laugh Bus. Go ahead and throw up our logo. The Laugh Bus is a new initiative that we have, a new program, a new fabulous fantastic reality show that we'll be filming right here in Detroit and also in Atlanta. And it does allow you to take your party bus and get a comedian to ride around with you.
Oh, that's dope.
And then we film your good time. And then we create our show. So I'm the executive producer of that. I've been working on it for about 10 years now. And it will be launching on May 15th. And if you would like to be on that first, yes, give me a clap on that. I got a lot of stuff. I got all kind of stuff we about to do, God willing. And if you'd like to be on that bus, go to The Laugh Bus on Facebook. Also, I'm working on the website. But we will have that up very soon. Keep that in your mind. Okay, there we go. That's our Laugh Bus logo. We're going to have a good time. Now, if you're already having a event on your way to a concert or a wedding or a party or wherever, and you have a party bus and you would like for us to put a comedian on the bus and then also film it for our show, then hit us up. It's 248-291-7338. That's the Laugh Bus and Tony Ronnie's Comic Vibe. I get the comedians from him. We go way back. We got all those comedians on Def Jam Comedy. So we're going to be making sure that our local comedians are working. The next show will be June the 19th in Atlanta. So if you're in Atlanta and you want to jump on the Laugh Bus, we would be more than happy to have you on the show there. Sound good? I'm going to see y'all on the bus, right? Y'all going to be on the bus?
I'll be there. That sounds like
It's gonna be
fun. That
so
sounds like
fun.
a good time.
Yes, it's going to be a good time. We also have our VIP package, so we will be going to our VIP private club as part of the package where we have catered food and lots of fun. And yes, your food. That's going to be with Royalty Party Life. One of my business partners, she is launching her catering service, and we will have a business shower that will be sponsored by, I believe it's 5DS Productions and SDM Live, or 5DS Productions and the TRBT Club. And these business showers are so fabulous. Let me tell you about them. So if you're launching a new business, then we will come in and provide you with all of your marketing items, and your friends can then select the marketing items that you have selected with your registry. You can send them a link with all the items that you selected, and they can purchase those for you. And then we host a shower for you, and you launch your business. Isn't that so awesome?
That's amazing.
Okay. Isn't that so
Amazing.
great? So we'll have our first one on May the 15th. And we subsequently will have them each week or once a month. However, you know, you guys call in 248-291-7338 for your business showers and for the Laugh Bus. We got two more. Okay, so we got like 10 jobs.
18 jobs, child.
Hey, child, we don't play, man. But listen to this. I do have this really great talk that I do when I am in my professional mode, and that is called the business cycle. And it's like the roller coaster, because your business cycle is like an up and down. It's like your heartbeat. It is like life. And if you're not going up and down, you're flatlining, which means you are not alive. So you should be encouraged with your down, because your down gets you to your up.
That's right.
Right? You're supposed to be like planning during your down.
That's right.
Look at the roller coaster when you're tick-tocking up. And that euphoria that you get once you hit that, but guess what? Euphoria is fleeting. It isn't going to be, you know, like orgasms don't last for an hour, okay?
They do. You
Oh,
have
wait,
to get
hold
medical
on.
Right.
attention.
I thought she was going to be like, yes, they do. And I'm like, do we need another show, Didi? Can you come back next week so we can talk about it?
You learn us of the ways.
We need to learn something. We want to learn. But no, so euphoria and happiness and things that give you pleasure, they don't last forever. They are peaks in your life. And it's just like everything else, just like your heart rhythm, just like a beat, just like the roller coaster. Every single thing is up and down. So you should actually embrace your down and plan for your up, right? And that is going to prepare you for life. And so what we would say then, as we close the show out, get on that roller coaster, ride that, and don't ever get off the ride. Thank you. This is the Fourth Letter Radio. My name is Rhythma Detois. We are with SDMLive.com. Thank you, and see you next week.
Make a move, make it matter. Yeah. Forget the rest.
Are y'all feeling better?
You're rocking with the best radio station on the planet. SDM Live Unplugged.